That home run, Cuba's big fan, hanging out behind home plate today, as he has been pretty much every day. That home run is the only hit of the Classic for Urubarrena. He has walked a couple of times, but he has also struck out 6 times in 9 at-bats, Ryan. And for James Paxton, you'd love either that or a ground ball, even more so right here. 1-1, runner off from first, and a tapper foul will send Santos back.
No question what kind of velocity we would get from James Paxton. He has been upper 90s at points in his career. Flashed to 95 today. See if he climbs the ladder right here and gets a little 96, 97 action. Get that swing and miss from Urubarrena.
The 1-2. Down, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Arizbel Urubarrena was the first player to ever defect from Cuba and then return to the Cuban National Series and the Cuban baseball system after defecting. He did that in 2019. Originally signed with the Dodgers in 2014, and he waits on a big one here from Paxton and goes after it and can't catch up. 94 from the veteran lefty James Paxton, and a big second out in the 7th.
Well, Tyler, wasn't 96, but still plenty of velocity from that low 3/4 and just on the attack. Look, I know he had a rough 6th inning against Panama, but still just on the attack mode. You can see these Cuban fans. And that's huge, right? Again, we talked about him coming fresh off the couch. Game speeding up. All of a sudden, you get that big punch out. Settle in. It's not going to work right here. Get that big third out here and get your team back in the dugout.
It doesn't get any easier as Paxton has to go through Yohan Moncada. And the 0-1 is waved at and missed. Moncada, too, had a home run on day 1 of this event. But he finds himself down in this hole, no balls and 2 strikes.
You get right back up there. See James Paxton elevate. Let it eat.
Here it comes. Got him! James Paxton strikes out the side in the 7th. And Cuba leaves a pair. We head to the 8th. Canada 6 outs away from its first quarterfinal trip.
At CarShield, we want our employees to be themselves.
Woo! Where's my yogurt? Woo! How'd that taste?
But at the end of the day, it's all about the customer.
CarShield's doing it better than anybody else alive. They're the money-saving, roadside assistant, son of a guns protecting you from expensive car breakdowns. CarShield cars go farther. Woo!
Everybody be asking me, man, does the Bluetooth actually work?
Bro, you get a month for free. It's free.
Why are you asking me and not finding out for yourself? The first month is free. Go get you some chewables, man. All right?
What's your biggest financial mistake?
Rent, bills. Living is hard. I was having food delivered like 2-3 times a day.
What?
Maxing out 3 credit cards.
3? How do you max out 3 credit cards? Use Rocket Money. It actually tracks your income and expenses for you and suggests budgets based on your past spending. That way you can see where your money is going and how much you can safely spend without going over budget. Also has a calendar that reminds you of upcoming bills so you're never surprised by anything. I know, are you clocking it?
It's clocking to me. Download Rocket Money.
I've dreamed of this London acting program, but I needed to seriously start saving. With Chime, I round up purchases and save part of my paycheck automatically into a high-yield savings account. Finally, London's closer than ever.
Make your mark. Become a legend.
Rated everyone.
The NASCAR Cup Series, Las Vegas, Sunday at 2:30 Eastern on FS1.
Baseball and community go hand in hand. And with pitch, hit, and run, you can make a lasting impact. Scan the QR code to sign up and host an event.
It took just 3 pitches for James Paxton to dispatch Yoan Moncada on a strikeout for the final out of the 7th as the tying run at the plate. And as you come inside here on Bithorn Ballpark, one of the islands of enchantment here in Puerto Rico and the capital of baseball on this island here on Bithorn Stadium. A new arm into the game for Cuba. Yoan Lopez takes over, and Denzel Clark bounces one out to short, where Risbel Arubarwena just into this game may have gotten the out. Denzel Clark bursting across the first base bag, immediately turned around and pointed. Now, granted, we see that a lot, but Denzel's already taken off the leg guard. He feels like he was safe at first. And Canada will immediately go for the challenge.
We're getting out to look at it.
Yeah, he's safe.
Yeah, he bit it. Rubarena, the ball will find you when you come into the game for the first time. Kind of sat back on his heels. He cannot do that again with Denzel Clark getting down that line.
Yeah, that came off the bat of that first big hop. Made you think, oh, I don't know if they're going to have a chance to get him. We've got 5 errors already in this game. That one probably not going to go on the scoreboard as an error, but Denzel Clark.
I want to go back to this. We talked about James Paxton. What kind of velocity we were going to see? Low 90s, but all of a sudden he gets 94, 95, and then this one, 96. Just keeps climbing the ladder, fired up.
And again, when we talked to him on Thursday at the workout day, Ryan, he said, how you feeling? What's the velocity look like? He said, 92, 93 in the bullpen. You said, I think you'll get some 95s. And he said, you think so? Bouncer out towards second. Cape to Arubarwena for 1 and back to first in time to get Julian. So the 4-6-3 double play erases that leadoff infield single. 2 gone and the bases are clear.
And you feel like every mishap that's happened with this Cuban defense has come back to bite him. They're quickly wrapping that up. Little ground ball double play. And no action in that Canadian bullpen either, so you think James Paxton will be getting back out there. Let me show it again. I keep going back to this. When you are coming out of retirement, he's up there living in Seattle, throwing some bullpens. I know he threw in one of the exhibition games. But, man, you're going to second guess everything you do. The game's going to speed up. You're not quite sure how you're going to look, if you're going to get that right release point, if everything's going to sync up. It just takes a couple of games, I'm telling you. We saw that first game, a couple 92s, 93s. Slider was a little flat. Obviously, the defense behind him. But, man, this Canadian team is in a good spot with the way James Paxton looked at last inning.
Ball and 2 strikes. Donato Lopez is James Paxton. Just as calm and composed as can be. Lopez deals the 1-2. Lopez will hold off there. Yoan Lopez, another guy who comes at you with that whippy arm action, 6'3", 208. Long limbs as Lopez fouls this one away. He is from Nueva Gerona. Working against a guy who's got 2 hits and 4 trips today, including an RBI single in the 6th. Otto battling here. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
If you're a Marlins fan, you're used to seeing this, man. Although Lopez just makes such good contact. Yes, he's aggressive. There's some questionable at-bats, but, man, he can reach those pitches well outside the strike zone.
Pitch number 7 coming up to Lopez is off the plate. We'll see an 8th. The 3-2 rather is high as well. And that is ball 4. Continuing to tell you about our incredible crew here. Seth Ivory, Sam May, Anthony Orza, and Antonio Slater, our graphics ops. Look at that handsome group of gents down in the truck downstairs. Carlos Gonzalez, Tom Lynch.
By the way, that was day one. After listening to you and me for a full week.
They are
They're
haggard
not smiling
now.
Yeah, that's right.
They haven't smiled in almost a week. Josh Naylor fights this one off the hands, falling quickly in left, and on comes Martinez, who can't make the catch. Rounding third base, here comes Lopez to the plate. The insurance run is in on the flare off the bat of Naylor, and Canada adds a 6th run. It's back to a 4-run lead.
Well, Tyler said at some point Josh Naylor is going to come up big. Wasn't the hardest hit ball, that's for sure. But for Ariel Martinez, look, great effort right here trying to make this play and just missed out on catching. But bounces off that turf. And unfortunately for him, you see that ball just sneak away. And the speed of Otto Lopez able to score.
And he had it in the glove, too. And the contact on the slide jarred it free. And now here is Tyler O'Neill, who with one swing could really break this thing open.
The hard thing is here, look at Otto Lopez. Got a good jump with 2 outs, right? So obviously with 2 outs, you can't screaming around the bases with Ariel Martinez.
Back out to second, and an easy play there for Kape. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Canada gets a run back and reinstates a 4-run margin.
When allergies throw a sucker punch, the power of Claritin punches back harder. Nothing is proven more powerful for 24-hour non-drowsy relief. Claritin clears. Now try Claritin Liquid.
Precise designs, subtle curves, curated upgrades, elevated design for thoughtful living. Thuma.
Introducing a better way to work with the new Desk Riser from Branch. Bring movement into your workday by transforming any surface into a standing workstation within seconds. Explore the Desk Riser and other ergonomic essentials at branchfurniture.com.
Oh my goodness. What's your number?
I'm a 9.5. I'm a 10.10 guy. 10 and 5.
The all-new PXG Gen 8 irons are engineered around a pair of revolutionary adjustable weights. I'm a 4.3 guy. And the numbers mean each club weight is dialed in for you and your game. So you can turn a slice into a fade, a hook into a draw.
Pretty amazing. It's going to help a lot of people.
Visit PXG.com to find a fitting location near you. What's your number? PXG. You've never played like this before.
Insurance or not, Good RX is the winning hand. No hoops, no hogwash, and no sense paying more than you have to.
With up to 80% off at pharmacies nationwide.
Even get them delivered. Lickety split.
And green light to get chores done, but it has led to so much more.
Hey Noah, what are you doing?
I'm researching the stock market.
What's a stock market?
This is a Big East tournament, folks. A champion will be crowned.
You know the crowd is ready. The Big East tournament, March 12th through the 14th on Fox and FS1.
Story of missed opportunities today for Cuba. If they can't rally here over the final 2 innings at the plate, Ryan, they left 5 on base between the 6th and 7th. And we talked in the open today about how well they've been playing when they were getting help from the long ball. And if you have big spot homers, obviously you're going to be able to do some damage at the plate. But even just some hits into the gap, things that are falling in the outfield, we haven't seen any of that from Cuba today.
Yeah, it's been feast or famine, especially those first couple of games. And again, we got to keep going back to 2023. Just nothing doing the first couple. They started to light it up a little bit, but Yeah, just a ton of swing and miss. Arrubarrena's out of the lineup. Think about that. He pinched hit, obviously, today, but big reason why is because the swing and miss. We haven't seen that from this Cuban team a whole lot throughout the years. And not to mention, too, Cal Quantrill was brilliant, but he's not known to generate that swing and miss. He racked up 5 strikeouts against his team.
Broken bat bouncer over 2/3. Some weird spin on that ball, but Abraham Toro sticks with it, and Martinez is retired for the first time today.
Yeah, just look at this game breakdown here. Panama, Colombia, and Puerto Rico. Look at the runners in scoring position. 0 for 4 against Puerto Rico. That was that big game for them just a couple days ago. And the home runs, too. The 2 home runs against Panama out the gates. Early in that game, you're thinking, okay, here we go. This is going to be an onslaught. It's gotten worse and worse since then.
This is sort of the inverse of what we saw 3 years ago, Ryan, where Cuba started 0-2 and looked so disjointed and out of place in Taichung, and then they brought everything together and they finished with 2 wins in their final 2 games there, made it through the quarterfinal, beat Australia, made it to the semis. Here, they started so strong those first 2 days, and they've just kind of splintered since then.
Aging roster, not playing that sound defense, beat themselves, and plenty of that right there, swing and miss.
That is a World Baseball Classic legend, Alfredo Despaigne, who goes down yet again, and that drops Despaigne to 2 for 14 with a couple of strikeouts here in San Juan.
And on the flip side, too, I mean, you can't say enough about this Canadian pitching. This was the question mark, right? Like, coming into this, we talked about their offense being their biggest strength. They had struggled in the past from a pitching standpoint. Then they get to day 6, and you got Cal Quantrill, big question mark because of what he did last year in the big leagues. And not to mention, you got a guy in James Paxton who essentially coming out of retirement now just in an absolute groove.
Well, Yankee took that pitch for a strike and smacked himself on the helmet, frustrated to have not gone after it. I did that earlier for the 17th time that I've just said Canada or Cuba when I meant the other one in a matchup. 2 of our 3 C teams here. Colombia departed yesterday. As you look at the work that has been done on the mound for Ernie Witt's pitching staff. And again, Ryan, this is a team that in the first 5 World Baseball Classics was one of the worst pitching staffs in every single edition.
Yeah, and you get the additions of obviously Jamison Tyone. Signs on to come here with Canada. You get Michael Soroka. But the question was, how do you bridge that gap, right, to finish these games off? You get 5 innings from Cal Quantrill. Got a little dicey there after that.
Never in World Baseball Classic history has Canada made it past the first round. They are on the verge of doing that here today. But look at that. The first 5 tournaments, a 7.63 staff earned run average. And there exists a pretty realistic possibility. Look at that
Future
moment.
Canadian first baseman. Left-handed swing, of course.
Of course. There exists a scenario in which Canada makes it through, and its North American rival, the United States, does not. The first time Canada has not been in the same group as the U.S. in the opening round, and they are 3 outs away from Houston.
Over 250 years ago, we didn't like the taxes, so we dumped the tea. Today, that same unstoppable spirit drives Ram. Now with the Ram Declaration of Deals, we're pledging our allegiance to the American people. 0% financing for 60 months on select 2026 models, or we'll cover your sales tax, plus no monthly payments for 90 days, and a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Because a promise means nothing unless you back it up. Nothing stops America. Nothing stops Ram.
Don't know Domino's $9.99 best deal ever? Just pick your crust. Maybe pan pizza.
Gluten-free crust.
Thin and crispy, too. Load on up to 7 toppings like
Bacon.
3 different types of cheeses. Green peppers. And get it all for under $10. Only at Domino's.
Sunday, the spotlight hits Jerry's World for the biggest race party of the year. It's the first ever Grand Prix of Arlington. Planes, T-Pain, automobiles, and the greatest drivers in the Welcome to the fastest racing on Earth.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to get kicked in the face? I think I could handle it. Do you want to watch a movie? Man Cave Movies has a lot of great options. Watch now on Fubo.
Not only is there no chance of a boring fight in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, there's no chance of a boring exchange. Bare Knuckle FC is here.
Wonderful cross and a header to match.
What's your take? Are we underrating Duke as a national championship contender?
The losses in this game are tough. You're going to live with those for the rest of your life.
When you have the ability to buy whoever you want, basically, you don't have to be really cagey and elite and discerning about.
Telecast is presented by Authority of World Baseball Classic Incorporated and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
On lead for Canada, looking to pat it in the top of the ninth. Some more of our incredible crew here in San Juan in the tape room. Our tape producer, Emily Mastroboni, lead EVS, Alicia Herzog, the legendary, world-famous Franktown, Colorado's own Jock Hinkle, Toli Skurakovsky, and Keegan Wilson. Our support staff, Francisco Gutierrez, Fernando Ortiz, Rodrigo Perez, and Albert Alquist. And as we head into the top of the ninth, one of the most amazing arms on this Cuba pitching staff is pitching in the ninth inning, but Ryan certainly not in the situation he hoped for today.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously trying to bridge the gap to this man right here, Rado Martinez, dominating the MPB. Talk about how if that arm could translate to Major League Baseball, and there's no doubt it could. But not in this situation where it's 6-2 Canada.
Ryan, this crew that we have gotten a chance to work with here in San Juan has been so world-class, and we're shouting them out for a reason. As Abraham Toro skies one out in the air to left. This is a long run again for Martinez, and again the wind playing tricks, and nobody makes the play, and everything is falling apart for Cuba in the field here on the final day of Pool A.
Wow. This is stunning right here. Yeah, I mean, you can talk about the wind if you want, but right here, this is what you need to have. This, obviously, the priority here is the left field. Rubarena just kind of gives up on it, throws his hands up in the air.
And that's not a good feeling.
It's not. It's not a good look either.
Yeah.
Especially when you're down 6-2. And, I mean, going to get bounced out of pool play for the first time.
Rubarena, when he came in as a pinch hitter, sort of looked frustrated as well to not be in the lineup today. And you understand that, certainly. But, man, you're still in this game. It's a 4-run game in the ninth.
Absolutely.
So it's a leadoff double for Toro. And now Owen Casey will try to cash that in. One pitch, tap foul. But just to put a bow on that, the crew, we could not, when our producer Chris Bracy called each of us a few months ago to talk about coming down here, he said, we're going to put together an all-star team for this crew. Right. And I could never have envisioned just how good a crew could be until we worked with this crew. This has become a family for us over the last 6 days as the 1-2 is fouled away by Casey. And we are so lucky to get to work with this group here in San Juan.
Right, and Tyler, you and I both know we've done these events a ton. We've worked with different crews and different people, that is for sure. But you come in, you got double headers, there's long days, there's so much prep, there's the research, the all kinds of preparation to get this done. We are so grateful and so fortunate.
Rip right side, Owen Casey comes through yet again. Rounding third, here comes Toro. It's 7-2 Canada in the ninth.
And Tyler, the knockout blow right there. You're facing the Cuban team that looks absolutely defeated. Right now it shows on the field. And then you have Owen Casey, the hottest bat in this Canadian lineup. And you're literally throwing pitches down the middle against Rado Martinez. 7-2 Canada.
And the first pitch is there for a strike to Matt Davidson. I think the thing that has to be most frustrating for Cuba right now is you've got a guy in Herman Mesa who played during the glory years of Cuban baseball. And these are the things that Cuba did not do in that era. As a grounder out to short, 6-4-3 double play. That's really nicely turned there by Ru Barwena and Yiddy Capi. But Cuba was always so flawless, and that was the thing about them. They came in, there was this mystique about Cuban national teams. You know, we talked about this earlier, from about the 1960s on, for 50 years, as Owen Casey has taken over the tournament lead in Canadian baseball history with 9 runs batted in. But Cuba was first or second in every single major baseball international competition from the 1960s through the 2004 Olympic Games. And they just did not make mistakes like this. They played fundamentally sound baseball. They capitalized on opportunities. They took advantage of your mistakes, but they were not the ones making the mistakes. And you know that. You saw this team in the Olympics.
And again, there's always that just never quit mentality. But again, just you mentioned that Ru Barwena walking to the plate, kind of shaking his head, right?
Yeah.
There's a certain energy that goes on, especially when everything is magnified in these tournament-style games. When you have that, when you rock up, when you get on the bus, you rock up to the ballpark that afternoon or whatever it is, and you're carrying a certain presence around from one of your veteran players, I'm telling you, it trickles and creates a ripple effect and trickles throughout the entire team.
So here is how things sit. If Canada gets 3 more outs in the bottom of the 9th, they will not only move on to Houston, but they will capture first place in Pool A. They would be the top seed coming out of here via that win over Puerto Rico last night. So they would match up with the second place finisher in Pool B. And again, the United States, Italy, and Mexico all still alive to move on there. 2 of those 3 teams will come out pending the result of Italy and Mexico tonight. But you can see, I mean, that elated energy in the third base dugout. They are ready to explode. 1-1. Naylor out to second. Cape is there, and Canada will try to close out its first ever trip to the World Baseball Classic when we return in San Juan.
The United Football League is back. Professional football in the spring. A game experience like no other.
Beautiful throw, right on the money.
Big energy, high-flying plays, innovative tech.
Wow!
This is just the beginning.
My goodness!
This is the United Football League. It all kicks off March 27th on Fox.
The spotlight hits Jerry's world for the biggest race party of the year. It's the first ever Java House Grand Prix of Arlington. Sunday at 12:30 Eastern on Fox. Welcome to the fastest racing on Earth.
Electricity in the air. This is a Big East tournament, folks. A champion will be crowned.
We know the crowd is ready. The Big East Tournament, March 12th through the 14th on Fox and FS1.
In the land of Israel, before the Gospels, before the cross, there was David.
King Saul, you have nothing to fear from me. Please tell me how to help you.
Under the eyes of a mad king, he was hunted. Under the weight of destiny, he stood tall. And under the hand of God, he became a legend.
This day, the Lord will conquer you, and I will kill you.
I'm Zachary Levi, and this is David, King of Israel. Streaming now on Fox Nation.
Spring is the time to join Fox Nation. Sign up for just $2.99 a month. Start streaming today.
None of this was imaginable 30 years ago. Contact is like basketball fields of dreams. It's like family.
We all got confidence. He got confidence.
We're going to the Final Four.
To the championship!
That was a killer shot, man.
We're being teams.
It's one of the greatest stories in the history of sports. Welcome back to the 2026 World Baseball Classic. Alongside former Major Leaguer and 2-time Team Australia pitcher Ryan Rowland-Smith, my name is Tyler Maughan here in San Juan, Puerto Rico at Iran Bithorn Stadium for our continuing coverage of Pool A. and very possibly, dare I say likely, the final time we welcome you back to Huron Bithorn Stadium. It is a 5-run Canada lead as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. And it is James Paxton back out there on the mound for his squad. He'll go to work against Malcolm Nunez, a pinch hitter, to take the at-bat in place of Yidi Kape, and it's 0-1. This is the first at-bat of the tournament for Malcolm Nunez. And how about that, Ryan? You're here for almost a week. Mm-hmm. You come in, you face a big league veteran who's throwing 95, 96. Tough draw for Malcolm Nunez.
Yeah, and this is just some sort of flip the script from this Cuban team, right? A little bit of desperation. Trying anything they can to generate some kind of momentum against a vintage James Paxton, who's turning on here for his 3rd inning of work.
Paxton through his first 2, allowing just 1 hit. He struck out 4. 1-2 pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Let's not forget, too, look, 49 pitches on Sundays. He only had the 2 days off, right? He's been a starter his entire career where you usually have that pitch and the 4 days in between, minimum. Here he is trying to get his team 3 outs away to their next round.
Look at the numbers for this pitching staff. Just amazing work done here by the guys in red, white, and black. And he dispatches Nunez 1 away.
Again, just owning the inner half of the plate for James Paxton. Big maple, big lefty, bearing in on some of these righties. But let's look back at the strikeouts. That glove side fastball. And again, we talked about the velocity, right? 92s, 93s. And all of a sudden, 94s turn into 96. Punch some tickets.
Ryan, this is a potentially monumental win for Canadian baseball as you look at that last strikeout for James Paxton. I mean, just freezing Nunez. Right. And again, like, what a tough draw for Malcolm Nunez, first at bat of this World Baseball Classic. But we showed you the footage earlier of Canada's win over the United States in the first ever World Baseball Classic. That's the previous biggest win for Baseball Canada in this event. But you win this game today and you move on to the quarterfinals, there's a very, very good possibility that we see Canada in Miami for the semis. 2 gone, another strikeout, the 6th for James Paxton.
Yeah, it's really all come together, right? This offense. And especially, look at this slider right here. This is absolutely nasty from that low 3/4, left on left. No chance.
And here is Omar Hernandez. Did not get the start in this game. Goes first pitch swinging and fouls one back, and it's 0-1. The type of win that Baseball Canada has been dreaming about for 2 decades in the World Baseball Classic. And they are 1 strike away from it. For all of these guys who came through the junior national team program and who have found themselves on this stage, the moment is at hand. Paxton deals. And Hernandez will see another one.
97. Just emptying the tank.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Hernandez battling. Came on as a defensive replacement in the top of the 7th. He walked in the bottom half of that inning, and here comes Ernie Witt. And at 49 pitches, James Paxton laughing to himself out there and sharing a smile with Ernie Witt as they want Paxton available. This is a short turnaround to the semis, and Paxton will be lifted here in the bottom of the 9th.
This brain is 4% larger than average. From watching FS1's daily shows, Colin Cowherd, engineered to activate your logical thinking and decision-making here, and definitely here. First things first. Here, it's thought processing, overstimulated. Beautiful. And this is the chaos zone, triggered by Barstool. They hit the abstract center, where play and instinct live. Weekdays on FS1. No-brainer.
Week time today. 2 Chainz, just hilarious. Country Wayne, DZ Young Fly, even A. Smith.
There's some questions I want to ask you right now.
Go ahead.
It's gonna get good. Hey, that's gangster.
Next week, we'll be back because we'll be trending again.
I was in search of freedom. Sarah was in search of faith. Our lives were to become one.
I am too old to bear a baby. I want you to have a child on my behalf.
She was the first of the great matron.
Is the NASCAR Cup Series on FS1. It's star power and horsepower. It's all gas, no brake. Week in and week out, as the best of the best run the gauntlet. Short track tempers.
Good grief.
Road course carnage and champagne chaos. This is the NASCAR Cup Series. Las Vegas, Sunday at 2:30 Eastern on FS1.
The college basketball crown returns April 1st on Fox and FS1.
We are one strike away from Canada potentially ending both of these long-time streaks. Ernie Witt's club has never advanced past pool play in the World Baseball Classic. Cuba has never been eliminated in pool play. But Eric Sarantola will take over an 0-2 count on Omar Hernandez as James Paxton got to 49 pitches, one shy of that 4-day mandatory rest. And he was lifted by Ernie Witt. So here is Sarantola to try to finish it out. 0-2. In the air, to left. Here comes Owen Casey. And for the first time in its history, Canada is headed on to the World Baseball Classic quarterfinals.
Tyler, all came together at the right time. We talked about the offense, but what about the pitching? You got guys coming out of retirement, one in James Paxton. What a weapon he was today. You got Cal Quantrill, who was coming off a tough 2025. You didn't quite know what you're going to get from him on this sixth and final day in this start against Cuba. He goes out and dominates. And for the first time ever, Canada knocks off Cuba to go to that next round.
Ryan, baseball is having such a beautiful moment in Canada, and this national team wanted to ride that wave, and they do it in such impressive fashion today. And man, you got to feel great for that guy. Ernie Witt,
Absolutely.
5 previous World Baseball Classics, a Canadian baseball legend, and he finally gets to take this team on that charter happy flight to Houston and play for a chance to go on to Miami in the semis.
Yeah, and look, Ernie Witt, he is all in on the Canadian program. Remember, he's got 15 years of Major League service time. He's been around forever, but this is his bread and butter right here, trying to get this national program to this stage of where it's got now. Everyone's bought in. You've got a really young, star-studded, all of a sudden offense with the Naylor brothers, Denzel Clark, Olo Lopez. You get the pitching to go with it. Man, they are going to be a force when it comes to that next round.
Look at Eric Sarantola just drinking in the moment. You know, kind of a funny situation for Canada because you want to celebrate this, but as they salute their fans who have turned out in droves, by the way, you also know you want to celebrate it, but hey, it's got to be business as usual. You're off to Houston to play in the quarters.
For sure, and you have put yourself in such a good spot. Now, all of a sudden, you got some momentum. It was dicey, though, Tyler. You go back to that game against Panama, and you're really second-guessing this team, and you're wondering about the offense. Is the offense going to show up? They beat Puerto Rico last night. They took that momentum into today, and they really took advantage of a Cuban team that just looked deflated as this game went on.
We had only 4 games in this pool, Ryan, in which a team scored more than 3 runs. Canada had 2 of those. They scored 8 in their opening day win over Colombia, 7 in the win here today. And as you see a dejected Alfredo Despaigne in that Cuba dugout, the elation of the Naylor brothers on the other side. Joel Santos and his guys, they're going to have to wait for the next World Baseball Classic for an opportunity to try to avenge this. But, man, I mean, this moment is all about Baseball Canada, and a massive congratulations to Ernie Witt and his guys who are headed on to the quarterfinal round, and not just headed on, but they, again, win this group. They are the 3-1 Pool A top seed. And how good does it feel for James Paxton?
Absolutely, man. Again, look, we've been talking about because we've got a big sample size, nearly pretty much through 3 innings, right? You had to come out with that 49th pitch, but you go 49 pitches, you come out mid-at-bat, you only have 2 days off, come right back, and what a weapon he was out of this bullpen. And coming out of retirement too, what a ride for him. That continues on. He might be getting some calls from some teams saying, hey, listen.
Are we sure James Paxton's done? 97
right.
in a pressure spot? So here is how things sit on this Wednesday. With a win, Italy would move on as the number 1 seed and would advance with the United States in Pool B. Mexico with a win would move on from that group. Venezuela and the Dominican Republic both moving on from Pool D. They will determine the top seed out of their group with their matchup later tonight. But what an incredible moment for Canada. And there was a guy who did a lot to build this national team program who was passed on, but Jim Baba looking down on this program from somewhere right now. Some more shout-outs for our crew, our production managers, Brooke Berger, Narissa Brown, and Abby Carrillo. Our video team, Ben Beal, Brandon Collins, Daniel Contreras, and Scotty Vanell. Stage manager, Victor Delgado. Ricardo Valero, our incredible stats guy up here. Our audio team, Glenn Stillwell, Adam Claremont, the chairman, Jason Hanley, and Jared King. Our technical director, Greg Godfrey, our unbelievable director, Troy Clara, and the incomparable Chris Bracey, our producer. And to a good buddy of mine who I've gotten to watch baseball and call baseball with in a whole bunch of countries. This is one of our most fun experiences, Ryan Rowland-Smith. And congratulations to Canada on this win today. This is a blast, man.
It's been fun, Tyler. It's always a pleasure. Hopefully we get a chance to do it again. But, man, what a ride this Pool A has been with this amazing crew. Team Canada going through in Puerto Rico. So much fun.
We've got some incredible images of this win and Canada's first trip to the quarterfinal round in the World Baseball Classic. For the final time from here in San Juan, Puerto Rico, for Ryan Rowland-Smith and our entire crew, my name is Tyler Mon. Congratulations to Canada, off to the quarterfinals in 2026. Swings and crushes one high and deep and way out of here to left field. Diaz trying to close out a night 1 win. Got him.
What a night for Puerto Rico here to kick off the World Baseball Classic.
Crushes this one. High and deep to right. Looking up and his ball's gone. Owen Casey leaves the yard. High fly ball, deep right. Warning track, ball, 3-1 Cuba. Tough play, Bradfield with the bunt. Everybody's safe. Second bunt single of the day for Enrique Bradfield. He's going to get the wave home. Into the plate. Oh, my goodness. Sliding grab out there by Harold Ramirez. Martin Maldonado. Third baseline and fair. Down into the corner it goes. As he come up big, bases clearing double. Canada will head for its do-or-die matchup tomorrow afternoon. And for the first time in its history, Canada is headed on to the World Baseball Classic quarterfinal.
Are you Marsha?
I am. I am.
Thanks for meeting me here. Usually not an interweb dating guy. Barely ever use this phone computer. Unless it's to bundle my insurance with Liberty Bibbity.
Oh, same. I hate this thing, but it's true. You can save hundreds bundling with Bibbity.
Bibbity?
Bibbity?
Bibbity.
Bibbity.
Are you hungry? Let's get some lasagna.
And some cannolis.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Hi. Hi.